Hello! My name's Emily. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be drawing hands, realistic hands at that. So we're going to do about 3 exercises to help you get the dimensions and like all the kind of things that you need to like take in before you actually draw hands, especially realistic hands, because those are really hard. But it's gonna be great, so stay tuned and we'll start with exercise numero uno. Okay, so exercise numero uno. This is 2, but this is 1. Numero uno is going to be drawing while just looking at your hands, not looking at the paper. You're not even allowed to look in its direction. I actually suggest that you hide it from yourself just so that you know you can't look at it. So what I like to do is I like to use my own hands. You make kind of like whatever you want to do. Mr. Llama, Llama Drama. You can do him. Just stare at that guy. Don't take your eyes off of him and get a pen and paper and just start going. You know, it's not supposed to be accurate at all. You're just supposed to be looking at the dimensions, at the shading, at the detail, taking in every kind of detail of your hand that you can inside your brain so that you can call upon that in the future. Just so you know, you are going to have a reference photo. I really suggest that for the later exercises, but for this one, just stare at your hand, make it any kind of shape that you want, and let's get started.
Alright, first of all, sorry my pencil marks are so light for this one. I didn't realize until I looked at it afterwards. But basically, you're just gonna stare at your hand like I said, and you're gonna feel like you're doing it right, and then it's gonna be so wrong. So don't worry about a thing. You'll see at the end it's gonna look cray. One time I did an entire picture with so many other aspects, just not even looking at it, and it looked like a bunch of scribbles, or like when I try to draw with my left hand.
Okay, so you have moved on to exercise 2. This one is going to be pretty cool. I always like drawing skeletons, and that's exactly what we're going to do because your hand is made up of different layers. Obviously, you have bone, you have muscle, veins, and then skin over that. And you kind of need to know what's going on underneath your skin just so that you can tell where the anatomy lies. It's going to make it look way more realistic than just like blobs like SpongeBob hands. So as you can see, you've got bony protrusions, and that's going to make the indents, and those are going to create shadows and then also highlights. And that's keys when making realistic pictures is shading and highlights. I don't know where I would be artistically if I didn't know how to shade or highlight. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can shade. Personally, I just like laying down the first layer and then like smudging it out with my fingers. I don't really like using smudge sticks unless they're like the little tiny baby ones that I can't do myself. But honestly, you can also do lines, dots, however you want to do it, but we are not at that phase yet. We are just going to be doing the anatomy so that you can get down the proportions. This is going to really help you figure out where to lay, like how long your finger should be, because honestly, your hand is bigger than you think. Like, it's as big as your face, and I get a pretty big head, so I also have pretty big hands. A lot of people don't have long hands, but I mean, if you're using yourself as a reference photo, that'll be fine. I actually suggest to Google a picture of a skeleton hand and then just kind of dive in there because obviously you can't see your skeleton if you're still alive and looking at your own hand. So, yeah.
SpongeBob to Patrick. I just wanted to do that. I love that episode. Anyways, so you're gonna get your skeleton picture and just stare at that guy. Start drawing your skeleton hand. I'm starting with the bones in my wrist, moving down to like the first finger that I can see, and then going with the ones that are in the back. I as you can see, your bones kind of go in the middle of those little segments and then out when it reaches the joint. This is your knuckles and the parts that bend in your finger, and those are going to be a little bulbous, and they're also going to have wrinkles and a bunch of shading, and that's also going to be the point at which your fingers will point toward or away from you. So you have to figure that out as well. Even though your fingers are long, they might look shorter because they're pointing away from you, or they might look shorter even so when they're pointing towards you, because you can only see like the bottom part and then it's just like coming at you. So yeah, we're just gonna get this girl drawn out. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of minor shading, but you really don't have to. It's just an exercise that gets you prepared for all the dimensions and all that good stuff. Plus it kind of looks cool. Badass. I was actually thinking about doing a picture of middle finger, but you know, trying to keep it appropriate.
So you've made it all the way to exercise number 3. We're almost done. So this one you're just going to be blocking out your hand, doing some minor shading, kind of like getting your lighting and the spot that you want. For this one, I really recommend having a reference photo, whether or not it's a picture of your hand, then the shape that you want it to be, or a picture of somebody else's hand. If you want to just stare at your hand, just be really, really careful not to move it. I used to do that all the time when I was a kid, just learning how to draw hands. Pretty much all the hands in my sketchbook are this one, my lefty, because you can't do it with your right, you know, drawing. But yeah, so get a reference photo, block out your hands. You can go off of the skeleton one or not, depending on what you want to do. This one's probably going to be better explained as I'm drawing it, because there's a lot of little techniques that I can show you rather than share with you verbally. So let's get to it.
Okay, so we're starting this one out strong. I took a picture of my hand, you can see up there. I put the flash on so I had like a distinct lighting to go off of as well. Up to you whether or not you want to do that. So I always like to start off with my thumb, because it's kind of like the biggest part of the bottom portion of your hand, and you're always going to have kind of like a pointy part where the knuckle comes out, and then it's going to curve in, and then your actual thumb kind of swoops up, and then when you get to the pad of your fingers, those are always going to be more juicy. So you want to round those out and kind of look at your skeleton picture, and you can see the segments and make the wrinkles. Use that to help you. I really like to use the folds of my skin to kind of help with the proportions and to go off of one another, because they all are intertwined. And don't be afraid to put some shadows in there. I'm just gonna do this lightly, nothing too crazy. I'm not really going detailed with the shadowing. So there you have it. It's just a regular old hand.
So you've made it all the way to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I didn't bore you to death. If you liked my video, like, subscribe to my channel. There'll be a ton of other videos for you to watch soon. Thanks. Bye. see you later. Have a great day, cause you're beautiful. And you know, ooh, let me focus it so you can get a real close up. Hold on. No, that's not working. Oh no. Maybe if I put music to it, it would be less weird. Do you like this? I think I got weird.